How to write for online reputation management. This, when I started in the reputation management industry 8 years ago, was a lot of fun. I loved writing. I came from a journalism background and loved writing about clients. As we began scaling, we've trained our own writers, created our own standard operating procedures, and it's been a great time. That being said, I do notice there's a lot of issues with online reputation management writing, so I'm going to pioneer this document here in front of you. We're going to do it together, and then I'm going to offer a download link at some point on the website. But for now, we're going to do it together. I don't want to overload you with information. So, how to write for online reputation management? Let's look at some of the factors that are going to go into ranking. So when we're looking at our ranking factors, I'll make it a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. I don't have a beautiful whiteboard, but this is very simple. So some of the ranking factors are going to be things like domain authority. It is one of the metrics that you can look at on websites to see how powerful is a website in general. How much is it trusted by Google? I believe it's assigned by Moz. Every website's going to get a score of, I believe, 0 to 100, maybe 1. But the higher the domain authority, generally the better it's going to rank, but also the niche of the website. There's some best practices. Niche of the website, when you're linking to your own website, trying to get things to rank, you want to have them on contextual sites. So what that's going to mean is if all of your writing is about finance, you likely want to get on a finance blog or something general, abcmoney.co.uk we've done before. You might want to get on Bloomberg. You might want to get on something that, makes sense. Contextually, it's going to look more authentic to Google. The next thing is the ranking factors is the H1 tag. And so this is really the headline of every single article that you're writing. So what you want to have is search factors. So things like name, company name, if that's what you want to rank for, search terms, we can say queries. If someone's saying reputation management or Nadernejad Media Incorporated reviews, there are some factors. Google's smart. If you try to rank for just the word reviews, they're going to know what you're doing. But if you're trying to rank for your name, and it's actually informative, it is going to rank. So these are just some ranking factors. There are many, many. I will continue to pioneer this document, but I want to jump into some of the writing aspects. So word count. Honestly, as long as possible, as long as it makes sense. So the longer the article and the more detailed it is. I wouldn't think about really chunky essay-like articles, but more like scrollability, readability. And are people going to click on the article and go, wow, it's just so much information. Wow, and like keep reading? That is what Google likes. It is that feeling, it is that exact engagement that is going to get articles to rank. So I would say 500 to 1,000 words is our industry standard, but more and more as the web becomes more saturated, we want to aim between 1,000 to 3,000 words. Again, people don't read 3,000 word articles unless they're extremely engaging. So I would integrate research, backlinks to other sites, backlinks to your own site, and as much dense information as possible. So this would also be media and multimedia. So it's going to be photo content, video embeds, alt tags. So the images, there's a tag descriptor, and I believe it's for accessibility, but you could do alt tags like Nadernejad office picture. Put that online. That's going to help Google index it as well. So these are just factors that are just rolling off the tip of my tongue, but there are many more. Let's get into how to write. One of the really important things is headlines. And even our writers that we're training sometimes struggle with these. And so headlines should have a few aspects. The first one is positive sentiment. When you're writing a reputation management piece that you're going to either commission to publish or publish, you want positive sentiment. So this usually follows a specific formula. So you want the person, place, or thing, and then you want to have a verb, positive verb, and then the who, what, when, where, why, how, the unique descriptor. So Nadernejad is helping people fix their online reputation. So you want the what. Again, this can be difficult. So we have writers who write about clients and they might write something along the lines of, we're going to make the examples better every time. It might have John Doe talks about business. This is pretty general. There's nothing positive in here. He's just doing an action. We have the verb. That's great. He's talking about something. We have what? That's the business. We have John Doe. So this is just a very basic title that we can start to make better. So let's keep making it better. Let's say John Doe talks about operations management. So that's slightly better because we know it's not just business, but it's operations management. So it's more specific and it's going to go in Google as a more specific pillar. That's slightly better. Again, don't make spelling mistakes. The next thing that's really going to help is something more positive than talks about. So we can have John Doe helps, let's say, entrepreneurs. And let's think of a good word. We want precision of language. So rather than John, I keep putting does, rather than John Doe helps entrepreneurs is slightly better. Now we know who. John Doe helps entrepreneurs, positive. Operations management. So we want to say helps entrepreneurs become successful at project management. Let's try to make it sharper and punchier. John Doe helps entrepreneurs master project management. We can even have how John Doe helps entrepreneurs master project management. And so we're writing multiple articles. We want to work off strong headlines like this. This is a really good example of what works well. So keep writing your headlines until they hit this level of descriptiveness, positive sentiment, and specificity. Now let's jump into writing. So again, our parameters, let's look at this. It's 500 to 1,000 words, 1,000 to 3,000 words if you can really do it, especially for corporations. But let's jump into how we would start an article. The lead. We write with journalistic standards. So again, you want to have a strong lead. Strong lead is going to be the action. Why are people reading this? What's happening? And also, what is sinful? Sinful is an acronym which stands for significant, interesting, and new. So sinful, remember that. So what's significant, interesting, and new about this exact piece that we're doing? So we can say, let's open with a quote. That's very powerful. We like to do this. Operations might seem tricky. With the right processes, anybody can master project management. Great. And then we can say, those are the words of John Doe, project and operations management. We'd say expert, but we can even be even more punchy, veteran. For the past 30 years, Doe, now we revert to last name. We're not going to say John Doe all the time. In journalism, we will start using the last name. We never want to use the first name. It's informal. We can also put John Doe. So you want to have the frequency of the name appearing. We usually say 3 to 5 times, but to be totally realistic, probably 5 to 8 times. We don't want to overdo it. We want to stuff keywords. It doesn't work as well. But we do want to use John Doe quite a few times and then revert back to the last name. For the past 30 years, John Doe has been helping entrepreneurs and businesses alike improve their approach to project management using a combination training programs and direct instruction. Doe is paving the way to more accessible project management for all. Now we want another quote because we haven't had one for a while. It's a pleasure helping others. And we're really quoting clients. We're not making them up, by the way, but I've done this so much that it's smooth like butter. Like we can do it really quickly. It's a pleasure helping others master project management and watching the light bulb go on. So, or watching it click, or, so we want to use golden nugget quotes, things that, punctuate our story, make it sound better. It's a pleasure helping others master project management and watching the light bulb go on. Then describe why. What you need to do in reputation management is create that story. You see how everything is bouncing off each other. Operations might seem tricky, but with the right processes, we know why we're writing it for the past 30 years. It's a pleasure helping others manage. Here's how we manage. It's a linear narrative. Some of the beginner mistakes are just taking transcripts from interviews or taking information about the subject and just weaving it in randomly. So I've seen people just randomly start with research, like the Project Management Institute says, and then they'll go on for 5 lines before they even introduce John. We don't want that. In fact, this can even be stronger. If John has released a product, if he's done something interesting, again, sinful. This is, somewhat sinful because he has a new way that he's approaching this. But if you can find it in a really specific event or detail, that's a much better way to launch your narrative. And so these are just some of the practices that will make you a better writer. I can talk about this all day. But this is going to help you in reputation management. You can take that article and then you can commission it. You can commission it to be written with these instructions, or you can actually publish it. So you can hire a publisher. And again, you're focusing on some of those metrics, like the domain authority of where you're publishing to. You can go on websites like Fiverr.com to hire people. We have a list of over 5,000 publishers and can guarantee not just the publishing, but a high ranking. So take with this information what you will. Drop comments down below. I would be happy to help. Thanks for watching. Take care.